Hello, everybody. This is Robert Kiyosaki, and I'm probably best known for the book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I'd like to congratulate all of you for taking some time to look at Rich Dad's education. So let me explain why I personally believe Rich Dad's education is the most important investment you can do and make in your life at this time. As you know, the state of the economy is like this. But in reality, for the last 10 years, it's gone like this. You know, as I'm talking to you, the stock market is hitting all-time highs, but it's based upon BS, blue sky. There's nothing underneath of it. It's been completely manipulated. It's been done with printed money to bail out the rich. Not you and me, but they printed trillions of dollars to make the rich bankers richer and all their friends. But now the economy is like this. Now, any of you know anything about the stock market is that every 8 to 10 years it goes, whoa. So the last time it crashed was 2008. As I'm speaking to you today, it's 2017 or 9 years. And it's starting to go like this. It's reaching all-time highs. The question is for you, can it sustain there? I don't think so. I would rather be prepared for what's coming than to buy, hold, and pray that's going to stay up. Simply because there's so many millions and millions and millions of people all over the world where their future is dependent upon a stock market. Are you nuts? It's going to come down. I'm not saying, well, maybe it won't come down. But if it comes down, all of you with your little pensions, your 401ks, all of you with government, programs, you're in trouble. But that's why back in 1997, 20-something years ago, I started the Rich Dad Company, and Rich Dad's education brings in the education that I think is appropriate to where the world is today. So you can buy, hold, and pray, invest for the long term, which to me, I think is nuts. Why would you invest for the long term when the stock market today is run by HFT, high-frequency traders? You see, long-term for most people is 40 years. These HFT, these young kids on computers, they're in and out of a market in seconds, milliseconds. While you're going 40 years, these guys are coming in and out of the market in 1/10 of a second. And you're going long. That is nuts. That's hoping for the Easter Bunny to come and save you. That's waiting for Santa Claus. Are you crazy? So that's why Rich Dad's education was created, to bring you the education without guarantees, but because you got to put in what you put in, and you got to study and study. But you might have a chance of surviving the next this way, because this here is when you get really rich. In 2008, my wife Kim and I borrowed $300 million and rode the baby back up. Here we are again. And you're going to go long? You're going to be crazy. Just as baby boomers start retiring all over the world. So that's why we have Rich Dad's education. So let me give you a few other examples. If you just want to be told what to do, which is save money, you know how stupid that is? Why would you save money when the governments of the world are printing it? You got to be crazy. Why would you get out of debt when the US dollar is debt? And more importantly, why would you call your house an asset when it's really, for most people, a liability? So you got to be smarter today. Worst of all, there's the biggest pension plans in the world nobody's talking about. The pension plans are going to go bust pretty soon. Like CalPERS, which is the biggest public service government pension plan in California and the US, is now $1 trillion underwater. They can't pay the retirees. So that's either bad news, especially if you're buy, holding, and praying, or it's good news if you invest in Rich Dad's education today. I don't mean to be an alarmist, but I am concerned for you and your family's future. You don't want to be like my poor dad, a man who has a PhD from Stanford, Northwestern, University of Chicago, but died poor when he lost his job. That's crazy. To just count on job security when robots are coming, it's crazy. To understand, ladies and gentlemen, that's why Rich Dad's education is so important. So let me give you two simple diagrams from the Rich Dad inventory. This is what makes Rich Dad's education different. This here's a financial statement. This is what your banker asks you for when you graduate from school. Look, I have a Bachelor of Science degree from a very, very good school, one of the best schools in the world to train people like me to be ship's officers to sail all over the world. Richest graduates in the world, called the United States Merchant Marine Academy at Kings Point, New York. And I was a C student. I didn't have good grades. But I'll tell you something. Even though I have a Bachelor of Science degree, my banker has asked me for this. My banker has never asked me for my grade point average. My banker never asked me for what school I went to. My banker wants to see my financial statement, because this is my report card when I grow up. It's time maybe you should grow up and invest in your education here. Because what this stands for is income, expense, assets, liabilities. This is the basic of a financial statement. My banker wants to see this. What the banker wants to see are assets. They don't care what your grade point average was. They don't care how much money you make. They want to see assets. They'll give you as much money as you want if you have assets. So what makes Rich Dad's education different is we teach you to focus here, whereas going to school teaches you to focus here. Look, there's a very big difference in this word here. Go to school and get a job, or learn how to acquire assets. That's Rich Dad's education. It's not easy. Most people can't do it. Most people would rather be told what to do, which is, oh, save some money, invest in the stock market for the long term, and get out of debt, and all that stuff. Unfortunately, that's not good advice, in my opinion. I could be wrong. I'd rather have real assets in here. Things like businesses. I have 6,000 rental units, 3 hotels, oil wells. I own other businesses. That's real assets, not stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and ETFs. That's for amateurs, okay? And what else makes Rich Dad different, Rich Dad education different, is this diagram here. This is book number 2 in the Rich Dad series. This is E, S, B, and I. E stands for employee. Go to school and get a job. Yes, I'll do that. Job security. Well, robots are coming. Where's the job security? You know that jobs are moving overseas? Have you heard that? And the jobs that do move back to the States, they're hiring robots, not hiring humans. Check the stats, man. And look over here, S. That stands for smart guys, the A students. That wasn't me. They become doctors, lawyers, accountants, attorneys. Hey, they make a lot of money here, but they don't have much money here. And these are the A students, or small business. I own a taco shop or a coffee shop. And that's where school goes. If you're happy here, stay here. You don't need Rich Dad's education. You want to move to the B and the I side, which is big business, 500 employees or more, or professional investor, like a Warren Buffett. This would be Steve Jobs, Warren Buffett. You want to move from here to here, that's where Rich Dad's education comes in. You want to stay here, go to school. Very, very big difference. This here was my poor dad. Go to school and get a job and work there for the rest of your life. Get your PhD, get your master's, get your MBA, and climb the corporate ladder or work for the government. That was my poor dad. This was my mom. She was a registered nurse. She wanted me to be a doctor. I said, Mom, doctors are smart. She goes, oh, good point here. Stay here, because I was never going to make it as a doctor or a lawyer. I'm not that bright. Whereas my rich dad said, come here. become a professional investor. And today, these guys, you can see them on TV shows, they're called Shark Tank. They're Mark Cuban and those guys, and Mr. Wonderful. Those are professional investors. These guys here, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and ETFs, and saving money. You know, a pack of losers, but anyway, that's what they do. Rich Dad's education is for this side here. But you have to become a pro. You have to turn pro. You have to be smarter than these guys here. So those are some of the differences here. The other part about here is this: professional investors cannot wait for the next crash. Because when markets crash, that's when they really, really get rich. So if you like stocks, rather than instead of investing for the long term, learn what Rich Dad's education talks about. You know, understand stock options, trading, all those things, how not to get caught into the market when it crashes. Because when markets crash, you can make more money faster when markets come down. Don't be an idiot in your Roth IRA or your ETFs or your pension plan going up when it's coming down. That's nuts. Again, let me say this. Markets crash approximately every 8 to 10 years. We're right there right now. So what I'm saying to you could be the worst news possible or the best news possible. The difference for you is, do you want to focus here on job security, a paycheck, or do you want to focus here? Do you want to focus here on being, you know, an employee or a small guy, small investor with a coffee shop taking on Starbucks? Or do you want to come here or here? If you want to come here and here, it's Rich Dad's education. You want to focus here, it's Rich Dad's education. I wish I could say it was easy, but it's not. But only you can determine if you're going to make it or not. If you're lazy, don't want to do anything, just have the government take care of you, get a job and buy bonds. Probably the best thing you can do. It's what lazy people do. Thank you.